Hi, I am so happy you are here. I see at least one person is watching with us. Do me a favor, say hello in the comments. If I know you, say your name. If I don't know you, let me know your name and where you're from. I'm Risa, and today we are going to be talking about creating a literacy-rich environment. And this is just one lesson that will be part of a whole course that I'm offering to parents. And the course is called How to Teach Your Child to Read with Music and Love. And this course will be offered as I'm building it for free to the members of the Sing Into Reading membership. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the course first, and then I'm going to get right into the content. So let me share my screen. Oh, there's my Facebook. So this is the course, Teach Your Child to Read with Music and Love. Let me make it bigger. And I called it a 6-week class here. It's turning into an 8-week class. Maybe by the time I'm done, it'll be 10. We'll see. But in each of these weeks, each 1-week module has 4 to 7 lessons. So for example, I'll look at this first one, what is literacy? And you see there's what is literacy, sing, daily read aloud, name study, taking turns, independent reading, preparation of the parent, and next steps. So for example, in what is literacy, there are 4 lessons in what is literacy. So there's We Are All Readers, creating a print-rich, language-rich, literacy-rich environment. There's a labeling unit, and there's a lesson about doing it all with love. Because we always like to start and finish all our lessons with love. That's how we do it here at Sing Into Reading. And this is the membership. And this is a membership for children. And each week we sing songs and play games and have fun. And so, for example, during our Christmas week, we sang all of these songs, and it is a great searchable membership portal database that you can use for the life of your membership. A lot of original songs in there, and some great songs that I've borrowed from some contemporary artists too, like Laurie Berkner. So I'm going to stop I'll get into my presentation. If you have any questions along the way, please do me a favor and just pop them in the chat, and I'll get to whatever questions you have. I think I have to stop my share to open this other thing. Here we go. All right, let me share my screen again. Here we go. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, this is the last slide, not the first. Here's the first slide. All right. Today, I want to talk about creating a literacy-rich environment. And before I go, I just want to mention what this entails. When I got my master's degree, everyone was talking about creating a print-rich environment. Creating a print-rich environment was where it was at. Everyone was all about creating a print-rich environment, a classroom environment or a home environment that is full of print. And lately, the language-rich and literacy-rich environment is being recognized as just as important, because literacy is really all about communication, and language definitely falls into that and is a great part of literacy. That's why singing works so well. So I want you to start thinking for yourself about what is a literacy-rich environment. What would that look like? What would you find in a literacy-rich environment? What kinds of materials might you find? How would those materials be used? And how can you create a literacy-rich environment in your own home? What can you do in your own home that will give your children easier access, easier independent access to literacy, language, communication, reading, and writing. All right, a print-rich environment versus a literacy-rich environment. As I said earlier, a print-rich environment is an environment that has print all around: books, magazines, reading materials, labels, charts, posters, and it is important, but we also need to create a literacy-rich environment that's full of language and love. So a literacy-rich environment invites children to engage in language and literacy activities, helping them to understand oral and written language. The literacy-rich environment emphasizes the importance of speaking, singing, reading, and writing. So a print-rich environment is important. I'm not saying it's not important, it certainly is. It's so important that I pulled together a bunch of quotes from some reputable sources about just how important it is. I'm not going to read them all to you. I know you know how to read and you can just read the screen yourself, but here's just a couple. The National Commission on Reading in 1985 said the single most important factor, the single most significant factor influencing a child's early educational success is an introduction to books and being read to at home prior to beginning school. Okay, so daily read-alouds are absolutely key. One of the units in my course is all about daily read-alouds and how to make them come to life and make them part of your day and make them even more useful to you as a teaching tool and to your children as a learning tool. I also want to mention that it's been found that children growing up in homes with at least 20 books get 3 years more schooling than children from bookless homes, independent of their parents' education, occupation, and class. So having books is super important. I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying that we also need to make sure that we have a language-rich, literacy-rich environment. So a print-rich environment is important. It gets children interested in reading and writing. A literacy-rich environment gets children interested in reading, writing, singing, talking, and listening. So in other words, a literacy-rich environment gets children interested in communication. And when you think about it, literacy really is communication. When you are reading something, it's not just to make the right sounds come out of your mouth. When you're reading something, it's because you want to gain a message from what you're reading. You want to gain meaning from what you're reading. When you write something, it's not just to write the correct spelling or the correct grammar. When you write something, it's because you have something to say and you want to communicate something. It's all about communication. All right, so what kind of materials might we find in a literacy-rich environment? There are reading materials, writing materials, oral materials, artistic materials, sensory materials, and experiential materials. And I'm sure even just those words ignite some ideas in your head of the kinds of materials you want to fill your home with. So let's talk first about reading materials. Books obviously are super important. Children are naturally curious about books. Please have books in every room. You know, have a book rack in the bathroom, have cookbooks in the kitchen. In your basement, make sure that you have books. In every room of the house, put books. When I was a classroom teacher, I had books in every center. I had science books in the science center, social studies books in the social studies center, and you can do the same thing in your house. Make sure that the books are easily accessible by your child and they're inviting. You can alternate your books. I have too many books, so my basement is full of books and my garage is full of books and my house is full of books too. And we keep alternating them and moving how many books are out and how many books are in storage. And it keeps moving. You want to choose both fiction and nonfiction books so that your child's familiar with different genres. Please choose diverse books so that you have a lot to talk about with your child. A book can open the doors to all kinds of exciting worlds and all kinds of exciting lives for your child. Give them that experience. A book can take them all over the world. As I said, you want accessible and inviting displays. If you go on Facebook Marketplace and look up book displays, you'll find a ton of them for very reasonable prices, or at any storage solution store. Also, have you seen the tiny libraries outside? I don't have one yet, but I'm thinking it would really be lovely if I put one outside my door. Just a little house where I put in some books to give away, and anyone who wants to can take them or leave some. It's a really cute idea. Fill your house with magazines, newspapers, mail, notes, lists, all kinds of things to read. And then I want to talk about environmental print. Environmental print is text that you will find just around the house, not in like a printed material, but something labeled, like soup cans in the pantry or posters and calendars on the wall. Maybe you have a schedule. There's writing on the cereal boxes. Also, involve your child in creating environmental print. Ask them to help you label the toy containers and the toy boxes. And then when they're cleaning up, you can ask them, let's see, where does this go? This is a puppet. Can you find the bin that says puppets? And maybe it just says a P, because maybe they labeled it themselves. My kids labeled the bins themselves when they were little, and there was a really cute spelling of miscellaneous. But encourage them to spell it however they want and use that environmental print. They can also build words with any kind of movable alphabet. Magnetic and felt letters, cookie cutter stamps, books on tape are also a great material. And you can make your own books on tape, and you can find YouTube read-alouds. All right, writing materials and surfaces. So there's materials and there's surfaces. And you want to use a plethora of both. So make sure that your child's exposed to a great variety of writing materials and surfaces. Writing materials can include finger paint. Both edible finger paint is terrific for younger kids. Paint, pencils, chalk, crayons, markers, dry erase markers. As I said earlier, any kind of movable alphabet where they can use tactile letters, like the wooden letters used in the movable alphabet in a Montessori school, or just felt letters or magnetic letters. Pens, cookie cutters, all kinds of fun. And on surfaces, your child doesn't have to be limited to paper. Consider a chalkboard, an easel, a dry erase board, a slant board, construction paper. Tracing paper is super fun. And use a magnetic board. If you don't have a magnetic board, just use your refrigerator. It's magnetic. It's super fun. All right, I want to talk about oral communication and how important it is. Singing, talking, and listening. So singing and talking are like writing. It's to get a point across. Listening is like reading. It's to understand the meaning of what the person is trying to communicate. And as a parent creating a literacy-rich environment, we need to model proper oral communication. We need to model talking and singing to our children in a way that we're trying to get our point across to them and that we think they can understand. And we need to model listening to them to make meaning of what they're saying. That lets them know that we care about what they say and that we want them to hear what we say. All right, let's talk about artistic materials that you'll find in a literacy-rich environment. Singing, obviously. I'm Risa from Sing Into Reading, so you know I value singing. Have pictures in the home. You can look at them with your little one and talk about them. You can have art books that you can look at the pictures together or go to a museum together. We'll talk about that when we get to Experiential. Use sculpting materials like dough or modeling clay. I trained at a Waldorf school for a short time, and they used beeswax with the children, which was a great material because it really requires a lot of strength to manipulate the beeswax, and it gives a lot of sensory input. Make sure you have an art center with a wide variety of materials. You can use the creative arts such as drawing, painting, sculpture, drama, dance, movement, music, and storytelling to express ideas and to make meaning, which is what literacy is all about. When you're writing, you're expressing ideas. When you're reading, you're making meaning. Let's talk about sensory and experiential materials you'll find in a literacy-rich environment. Sensory bins or sensory tables are fantastic. You can fill them with water, like a water table, sand, a sandbox or a sand table. Rice is a great filler for a sensory table. Play-Doh or any type of dough. You could make slime, super fun. If you need a recipe for slime, let me know. You could also fill a sensory bin with beads or those water beads, those Orbeez. I think those are really fun. They feel great. I had a teacher friend who had a salt box. She just took a cigar box and put in salt and encouraged the children to draw in the salt box. Super fun. So encourage sensory exploration. Make sure you take visits places. Go to the library, go to the zoo, go to the museum. And those experiences will help you make meaning and create a literacy-rich experience. Obviously, daily read-alouds are key. Dramatic play is a great opportunity for communication. Going outdoors is always a wonderful sensory and experiential experience. When you're cooking, involve your child in the cooking. And if you're using a recipe, then read it to them. Read the whole recipe through before you start, and then refer back to it and talk about it. You know, you can do some inner monologue out loud for your child and say, this is the thing I just did. What comes next on the recipe? Let me reread the recipe. First I do this, da-da-da-da-da. Then I do this, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, now I have to do this, da-da-da-da-da. So they can see how important it is to read this recipe and what kind of power that gives you. That if you know how to read, you can make anything in the cookbook. It's pretty magical. Bath time is a great sensory experience. While your child's in the bath, which is certainly sensory, talk about what's going on. Ask them how the water feels. Ask them, maybe they'd like to do some finger painting on the walls in the bath. There's tons of great bath toys to make bath time more fun. It is a literacy-rich experience. All these everyday activities that we think of as just part of life, it's an opportunity for communication. It's an opportunity for literacy. So that is creating a literacy-rich environment. I want to know if you learned anything, or if maybe you were reminded of something you forgot, or if maybe you thought, oh, I need to do that more often. I haven't done that in a while, or oh, I never thought of doing that. Let me know in the chat if there was any big takeaways for you that you felt were valuable. And I would love to work with you. As part of the Sing Into Reading membership, you will get the course, How to Teach Your Child to Music and Love with Music and Love, as part of your membership. And I'd like to just share with you again what that course looks like. But I can't find my cursor. Here we go. All right, let me share my screen. So this is the course, Teach Your Child to Read with Music and Love. And as you can see, I called it a 6-week class up here, but it's turned into probably an 8-week class. In each 1-week module, I have 4 to 7 lessons. So for example, in the first week, what is literacy? There are 4 lessons. We are all readers. The one I just gave on a literacy-rich environment, labeling, and with love. And this whole class on how to teach your child to read with music and love is something that I'm giving to my members who enroll in the Sing Into Reading membership. The Sing Into Reading membership is a class for children that teaches literacy through music and movement. And we meet live once a week, but members also have access to all of the past classes for the life of their membership. So for example, in each one of these is a class. So in the thankful class, for example, we sang these songs. You can click on any one of them to hear the song as part of your Sing Into Reading membership. You're also welcomed into a Facebook group, and I'm offering a super fun bonus right now that anyone who signs up is also getting an MP3 of some of my original songs. It's 20 minutes of material, so basically it's a whole children's album that you can listen to in the car or at home or wherever. And that's a bonus I'm giving you with enrollment right now. You can think of it as a Christmas present. And there is one more thing I would like to share with you today before we go. Let me share my screen one more time. Sing Into Reading is a unique literacy program that teaches children to read through the joy of music. Teaching your children to read can be overwhelming, but with our fun weekly classes combined with a simple daily action plan and the course that I'm giving you, you will learn in the course. Your child will learn to read, and the two of you will grow closer. So everyone gets to learn together. And what I'm offering right now is an amazing deal. Let me find everything in there. All right, so it's live classes once a week, which are valued at $80 a month, access to all past and future classes, a members-only Facebook group, time for your child to socialize with other children, classes for the grown-ups, downloadable literacy materials, and that bonus present I talked about, the 20-minute album. Right, so you guys, if you have any other questions, please write to me. You can find me at risa@singintoreading.com, and you can sign up for the membership at singintoreading.com/class-membership, I think. If you just go to singintoreading.com and you scroll down, there's a button that says enroll in the membership. So I know you can do it that way. All right, and I hope to see you really, really soon. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope you guys all have beautiful, happy holidays in your literacy-rich environments. I love you. Keep singing.